What's up, guys? It's your boy Kizak back with another video. Yes, sir, we are. And wait, somebody's missing this time around, right? I know Jasmine's not here. So let's get on more of a serious note on why Jasmine isn't here at the time. So as you all know right now, the coronavirus is going around, spreading through the nation. Stores are closing, restaurants, all types of things are closing down early. It's pretty serious, guys. So please remember to have your social distance between folks and whatnot. So, which leads me to this, why Jasmine is not here right now currently. So, we were at school. Next thing we know, we get an email saying go home for 3 whole weeks, guys. 3 weeks, right? And we do that, and we go almost a whole week without school. Next thing we know, we're on online classes for the rest of the semester, guys. So that's what we're currently dealing with. I still personally have to go back out and get some of my stuff from the school as we talk about, right? So I still have to go do that. Still seeing Jasmine, though. Everything's all good. Don't trip there. So she's at her house doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. We still link up. But right now, guys, like I say, be so careful now. It is very serious. So you guys make sure you take care of yourself. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Be careful. What's a few weeks to a lifetime? So, guys, if we're talking about it, it's not going to stop you. Just listen. Okay, so the video for today, though, guys, I know you guys been wanting to see some free agency stuff going on in the NFL. I know you've been watching because ain't a lot of sports happening, so free agency is pretty big, so we got to talk about something, right? So we're going to dive in all the, what I believe, so to say, topics of this past free agency that's just happened. It's still going on currently. So I'm just going to hit on some of the key points I think is a major hit for the NFL, man. So, hey, without further ado, let's dive into the video. So, number one, which I know a lot of people, it shocked a lot of people. Todd Gurley, running back of the Los Angeles Rams, guys. Okay, so let's go back in the timeline here, okay? Rams went to Super Bowl, what, 2 years ago? Todd Gurley was having amazing seasons. Fantasy players love him, right? Exactly, he's amazing. But what came to find out, Gurley was getting 5 to 10 carries here and there, whatnot. Fast forward, long story short, he had arthritis in his knee, guys. And remember, he had a banged up knee at Georgia, because I'm a Georgia fan, I know this. So, as time goes on, he's getting less and less carries. I think he got maybe 10 carries in the Super Bowl or something like that. So, what ends up happening is this past off season, they say they want to shop him. They want to give him this, get rid of him, right? What ends up happening is they cut him. Now, he's still getting big money, but the guys that picked him up are the Falcons, and that's what we're about to talk about here. Now, the Falcons have always had a huge offense. I think this is a huge pickup for the Falcons, but to me, it does not matter. The Falcons always have tons of receivers. Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan, former MVP, Julio Jones, a beast, and now they added Todd Gurley, which is pretty amazing to say the least. Now, I do think he'll be productive, but I don't think this is going to solve all of the Falcons' problems, though. So, to me personally, I know the running back, you know, what they do in the league is 2 to 3 years and it's out, but I'm so happy Gurley got his money, and I'm interested to see how this whole thing turns out. So for the Falcons, it should be very interesting. Now, I think this was actually the biggest shock. I know I said Todd Gurley, this had to be the biggest shock for me personally. DeAndre Hopkins traded to the Arizona Cardinals for David Johnson. Now, first let's dive in on this David Johnson part of it. I've never been a huge fan of David Johnson personally, because I know he had one huge year, and after that, I didn't see what all the hype was about for this guy. So you could tell when the Cardinals picked up Kenyon Drake last year, they were looking to get rid of this guy all along, which I can't really blame them. So I think it's a win-win for the Cardinals situation with a young quarterback like Kyler Murray, just won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and also get a huge weapon like DeAndre Hopkins. Come on, you're living the dream here, right? And still got a quality running back in Kenyon Drake. Hey, I love what they're doing. Now for the Texans, I heard there was some tension between Bill O'Brien and Hopkins. I've never heard this until he got traded. Somebody was compared to Aaron Hernandez. If you guys haven't checked that on Netflix, you need to. But I think that's a pretty far stretch right there. I just think there was a lot of tension between the two, and it was time to part ways, I guess, in Bill O'Brien's favor. I think this guy runs the team straight into the ground. And I really want Deshaun Watson to get out of there for his last year, but we'll see what happens. I think Cardinals won this trade. Texas most definitely did not. So, hey, we're going to see an explosive offense, I think, personally, in the Cardinals next year. And I do think the Texans will take a step back because they already have a running back, I think, in Hyde or some Johnson. You correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. There's no need for David Johnson, the guy who's an injury-prone guy, in my opinion, and just not that productive. And now it leads to Deshaun to pick up all the pieces and basically try to do something amazing every game. It shouldn't work that way. You should help your quarterback out by all means. Now moving on. Number 3, the Dallas Cowgirls. Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, you guys know I'm an Eagles fan here, right? So Amari Cooper re-signs with him, I think 3-4 year. I know over $100 million contract. I know that much. So what does this do for the Cowboys that it hasn't already done? Nothing. Honestly, nothing has been solved with signing Cooper. Now you get him to stay, but I'm still stuck on last year when the guy came out the game pretty early for he needed a breath or something like that. What was that? Towards the end of the season, your team needs you. I'm not understanding the structure. I'm not so high on the McCarthy, whatever his name is, head coach from the Packers or whatnot. I'm not so sold on that. I don't know what happened with Dak. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But as far as Amari Cooper goes, I'm happy for him personally. I don't think this helps the team a whole lot. They got a couple of more pieces, but I think there's a power struggle right there with the Cowboys. They can't seem to get out their own way. And signing Cooper it's great to have it done, trust. But that wasn't your issue to begin with. So, I mean, shout out to Coop though, and shout out to the Cowboys. Sorry. Before I even start talking about Ryan Tannehill, I need to give a huge shout out to the Titans all back for what they did last year, making it to an AFC Championship game. Round of applause. I'm from Tennessee, but I'm not a Titans fan. Anyway, let's dive into it. Ryan Tannehill, over 4 years, I think it was 4-year extension, does not deserve the money, hands down. Now, I'm okay with a 2-year extension, right? But I think this is personally going to be another Blake Bortles situation. Honestly, remember when he took the Jaguars to the AFC Championship game and was trash from there? Couldn't stop fumbling the ball and none of that. I don't get it. He shouldn't have got this amount of money. I do think the Titans have made a huge mistake here. There was plenty of guys out there for them to get, or even take a guy in the draft, to mold him or whatnot. But I don't like this. This is the same guy who was getting picked off by the practice squad in Miami. Let's not forget about that now, personally, right? So I don't forget none of those things. And I also don't forget the one who generated that offense to go last year was Derrick Henry, who I'm going to shine some light on as well a little bit later. But let me tell you something now. Kudos to Ryan Tannehill, but I think the Titans have made a huge mistake. All those flying weapons they got, A.J. Brown and whatnot. No, Tannehill ain't the guy. You find the guy that is your guy and you go into your future with it. Don't just live off last year, because that's what the Titans do. And I do think, personally, they're going to take a step back this year. But hey, that's just my opinion. Chicago Bears signed Nick Foles, baby. Woo woo. Hey, y'all know Nick Foles is a Philadelphia legend. He brought us a championship. So proud of him. But I told y'all, this was not going to work with the Jaguars. This man contemplating giving up football early in his career. Why do you think, after what he did with us, he was going to catch that magic again? And the Jaguars were wrong. Okay? They saw like when you're fishing and the fish is biting, they went right ahead. They didn't even see what was going to take place. And he got injured right away, hurt his collarbone, got his spot took by a rookie, Gardner Minshew. Came back and was trash, guys. He gets that magic in Philadelphia. Now, I do think he'll do decent in Chicago, but I do not think he's going to be where everybody think he is. I think his best days are behind him, which were in Philadelphia all along. So that's why I was all kudos to also not, signing him for long-term, be a franchise quarterback. There's no point in that. We got our guy. Our guy took us to the playoffs last year, and that's what it is. So I knew what I could see it from a mile away. And names with the Chicago Bears. So maybe that offense they have Matt Nagy would generate something. Tariq Cohen and those guys. Hopefully. I don't know. They have a killer defense, but Trubisky just couldn't get them over the hump. And Foles won't be able to do the same either. But they will win some games. I think considerably more maybe than they did last year. But it really doesn't mean a whole lot in this case. They just need to find the next guy. And Nick Foles, personally, he just ain't that. You got to give me now. If I have a little bit more excitement than I should on this next topic, talking about my Philadelphia Eagles. Because we just signed Darius Slay, baby. That's right, Detroit Lions superstar corner, I think 2-3-time Pro Bowler. That was him. We just got him on our secondary. But with that being said, we did just lose Malcolm Jenkins. All love to Malcolm Jenkins. However, we just got somebody that can actually cover somebody in the secondary. I'm so proud of that. I think along with the receivers, this was the biggest place we needed to fill on our roster. And we ain't done yet. But having him in there, having him show that leadership for us, is going to be huge. Having people who want to play for Philadelphia is a big thing. You can't just come to us and just play just to play. You got to love Philly. You got to love football. And you got to love the fans, the organization, period. So having Darius Slay, this is going to be a huge jump. When I saw it, I posted it on Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, link be down below. I posted it everywhere, man, because I'm excited for this guy to be here. He's been at it since he was a young cat. Hey, he jumped out right away and got going. And he's still going, man. I'm telling you, I'm happy to have Darius Slay a part of these Philadelphia Eagles for this year. Stephon Diggs heads to the Bills. Now, look, I can't say I saw this coming, but I can't say I did neither. But see, the thing was, over the course of the year, Kirk Cousins was struggling and whatnot, and Diggs would say so much stuff about him, and Adam Thielen would make little references, throw some shade here and there, how they need to get the ball, and then they pulled it together. They had their huge playoff win against the Saints. So I didn't think everything was off limits, but I surely didn't think he was going to be moved this offseason. So, hey, he's playing for the Buffalo Bills now with a young upcoming quarterback in Josh Allen. Now, this guy, let me tell you something, he needs to work. He showed me a lot, though, him in his playoff game against the Texans in this past season. He's had a lot of work left to do, and I think Diggs can help him with that. Guy being a deep threat, but can also run the entire route tree. So I think this is really going to help Josh Allen and what he does. And he can be more confident throwing the ball, getting rid of it earlier than he does, and stop running all the time. Sit in that pocket, find your guys. Most importantly, as a quarterback, trust your guys, and find Stephon Diggs and some other guys. So hey, shout out to the Buffalo Bills. Melvin Gordon to the Denver Broncos? Chargers? Broncos? Same division? What? Listen, man. I was pretty much done with Melvin Gordon last year when he held out. I had respect for him holding out, but he didn't last through the holdout. You lost all leverage if you don't stick through the entire holdout. It is what it is. As a man, that's your pride, man. I don't care if you're eating pork and beans on the side of the street with a stick. It don't matter. He came back. And I told my brother, I told my dad, I told him he came back. I said, I bet he had to do the walk of shame walking back into that locker room, guys. It had to be embarrassing. I know it was. But now he signs with the Denver Broncos for what, 16 mil, something like that? 13 mil guaranteed. I mean, they already had Philip Lindsay. They had Royce Freeman in the backfield. You're part of a committee now. He's not the same guy anymore to me personally. He lost a lot of my respect when he came through that holdout. He didn't get nothing, and now he's going to another team. And the thing about that, too, a lot of people know, Austin Eckler, he was huge on my fantasy team last year. He got a huge deal himself playing for the Chargers. So it pretty much showed we don't need you, and then we went and got your backup and gave him money. So he was disrespected. He goes to a division rival, and now he's in a running back by committee. He's probably not going to get nearly as many reps or carries as he once was. So I truly think that the Chargers won this one. And, you know, Melvin Gordon just lost it all together from last season to this offseason right here. So we'll see how it turns out, but I don't think it's going to turn out too well for the Broncos either. Phillip Rivers to the Colts? Yeah, you know the guy who played for the Chargers for like, I don't know, 16, whatever, how many years in the league, and didn't win not one championship, guys? Didn't win not one AFC championship? That's him. Now, I don't really know what the Colts are doing because I seen the regression of Phillip Rivers last year, and I do understand, like, I guess the Colts got more pieces. I don't really know. T.Y. stays hurt a lot. I mean, you got Hines at the back. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking with this move. I personally thought when Andrew Luck retired from the Colts, Jacoby Brissett was up next. I'm a guy, I'm all about timing and how you go as years pass and things like that. They just obliterated that man out in the media talking about some, hey, we didn't know, that's why we gave him like a 2-year deal. We didn't know if there's going to be some serious on it. But now you get Phillip Rivers? The man was just throwing the ball all over the place last year. Respect where it's due. But why would you go sign this guy? Yeah, you signed him for a year just to see what happens. But I don't think this is the move. I can't say it enough. Stop holding on to these old guys. Let them go. Phillip Rivers, go. He needs to be let go. And the Colts won't free him. He about to get in there and he's going to throw interception after interception. Will he have a decent season? I guess. I guess. I mean, in the division that he's in with those guys, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that division, honestly. But I don't really think this move did too much for the Colts, honestly. You should have stuck with Brissett or went and got your guy in the draft or something. I just don't think Phillip Rivers on a 1-year deal is going to progress his team any more than he did last year. That's just my opinion. I told you I was going to get in Dak Prescott, and that's what we're doing. Cowboys, here we go. So, here's the thing. Dak Prescott has been franchise tagged by Dallas Cowboys. Can I say I see it coming? Yes. Why? The man wanted 30 per year, something like that in that range. Want to be the highest paid quarterback. I can't be mad at you. But Jerry Jones made the statement in 2019 about Ezekiel Elliott when he was having his holdout. You know what he said? He doesn't catch handcuffs or writing contracts or anything like that, handing out money. Say he's very wealthy man. We all know this. So he goes on. He signs Jalen Smith and a couple of other guys. Clinton Dix, I think, was signed the other day, right? Why can't you just sign your franchise QB? I mean, this is an organization where they don't fire and hire coaches too often. Okay, they got rid of Jason Garrett, brought in a new guy, you know, McCarthy. And I can't remember the last time Tony Romo was their last guy when he decided to retire after injury. So I don't know why they won't pay this guy. I understand Dak isn't the most accurate. He's not a Pat Mahomes. He's not a Lamar Jackson, you know. The list goes on. It's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's not that guy, but he is the Cowboys guy. And once they learn to accept it, the better off they be. Okay? Now, he's going to be frustrated. This is why I brought up earlier about Amari Cooper. This deal is fine, but it means nothing if the guy throwing the ball to him isn't on the same page with these guys. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if this guy decided to hold out. Now, I think it's really going to hurt the Cowboys. And, you know, I used to think this, and I want to apologize to Dak Prescott right here. No, you may not see this video. But I used to say Zeke was the one who drove this team. And in a lot of ways, it still does. Now, you take Dak Prescott away from the Cowboys offense, who even is the backup quarterback for them? You talk about Zeke run stuff now. All you're going to be doing is put 10, 9, 10 in the box. So you do need Prescott. And now you really messing things up. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out, because I think if they don't pay this guy this money, somebody possibly will. We're just seeing how much Dak Prescott is worth to Dallas Cowboys right now. I think Jerry Jones and these guys have most definitely made a mistake. The Carolina Panthers agreed to let Cam Newton seek trade offer or something like that. But then they went and signed Teddy Bridgewater, and then Cam Newton gets mad on Instagram and instead stop playing with me. What's going on? Let me tell you what's going on. The Panthers have been ready to move away from Cam Newton. That's just what it comes down to. They've been ready to move on from that guy. Teddy Bridgewater played spectacular when Drew Brees went down last year, so you knew he was going to get a deal. And I'm proud of him getting this deal. Does this answer the Panthers' problem? No, it does not answer the Panthers' problem, guys. It does not. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback. And even before, I think the torn ACL injury or whatever he had hurt, where it took so much courage to get back, which I'm proud of him, he still, to me, wasn't that guy completely. I'm just going to be honest about it. Now, you do have Christian McCaffrey. He's an amazing running back, and you should build around him. I guess that's what they're doing. But Teddy Bridgewater, in my eyes, is not the answer. Will they have like a hot start next year? I'm pretty sure they probably will. But time will tell. If I'm wrong, I'll come back in here and say it. Now, Cam Newton, my guy. I think what's happened with Cam is that he's used his body to win games more so than his arm and his mind and his business. And that's what's hurt him the most. And now he's sitting on the outside looking in, literally at a backup position for whoever signs him. Because you look at every team right now, with the exception of guys who's going to go high in the draft, and teams are going to pick high in the draft picking a quarterback, there's nowhere for Cam to go right now. But I do see one place that's fit. In my opinion, I think it's the Patriots. Do I think they'll go do it? They won't. I think if he gets in this system, Belichick is going to cater to his needs and do what he has to do. Cam will look like a whole new quarterback in this system. So, I don't know what's going to take place, but kudos to the Panthers for getting who they wanted, I guess. But I think it's a temporary fix for a permanent problem. Alright, guys, now we're wrapping up on our last one. I know you've been thinking, Zach, you talked about Gurley, you talked about Hawkins, you talked about Amari Cooper, Nick Foles. Why didn't you talk about Tom Brady? I was saving the best for last. Come on to go, baby. You already know I had to save the last. So, let me first say this. I was kind of shocked when he left. Now, I felt like he was going to leave, but to me personally, I didn't know where he was going to go, right? I know Tom Brady is a guy who loves football. So people like the Chargers, the Raiders. The Chargers have no fan base. He loves football. He loves the whole people who love the game and whatnot, fans and whatnot. So, ends up happening is he writes his farewell letter on Instagram and whatnot, tells the Patriots. That falls through. Then he goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What? Okay, and then I thought about it. I was like, maybe this is a good decision. Because if we look at the Chargers, right, he's going to be in the AFC. In a division more so. MVP from 2 years ago. I was about to say Randy MVP. Sorry, guys. MVP from 2 years ago. And Super Bowl MVP. And Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes. Who only looks like getting better, honestly. And I'm sure you don't want to go on his last days like that. His 2-year contract. So I think that was a huge factor why he didn't go to the Chargers. He goes to the Raiders. There's too much uncertainty there. I don't know what the Raiders are doing. They're making some good pickups. I'm not sure what's taking place, though. So, that's on now. Now, look at the Buccaneers, right? So, let's discuss this, right? He's got Chris Godwin over there. He's got Peyton Barber at the backfield. He's got Mike Evans as well. And I can't say his name right. Bruins, or whatever his name is. Adrian, whatever the coach name is. He's a quarterback guy. I can't think off rip. Put it down below in the comments if you have to. So, here's the thing. I don't know about that defense too often, honestly. I don't know. But I do know he wanted offensive weapons, which he didn't have that with the Patriots last year. I remember him saying the guys that were too robotic and stuff like that couldn't get separation. And he's going to get separation with a guy like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Trust. And also O.J. Howard at tight end. It's going to help a lot. And I thought about it. This is a great decision. Now, peep this. Who's in that division? I think it's the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints. Shout out to Drew Brees signing the deal. And here's my thought about it. Panthers. There's a lot of uncertainty there. They think Bridgewater is going to help them out. But they don't really know. Let's be honest. They don't know what's going to happen with the Panthers. They do not know. They're hoping this is who they want, and this is going to be their guy. So they're just throwing caution to the wind. The Falcons. Like I expressed earlier, they got Ty Curry, oh, they got Julio Jones, they got Matt Ryan, Kevin Ridley. They always got several huge weapons, but it never ever projects the wins, huge wins. They never come into play. So I think they're up in there for it too. Saints. This will be their toughest competitor, with Drew Brees. But here's my problem with the Saints. They just added Emmanuel Sanders as well. They can never get over the hump. For the last 2-3 years, it's always been something with the Saints. And now it's something else with the Saints. They won't be fighting the Rams this time. They're going to be fighting Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's who they're going to be fighting against this time. That's who they're going to say cheated them this time. It's always something with the Saints, and they can't get out of their own way. And to that, I think the division is fair game, and it's probably the smartest decision Brady has made right here, guys. I mean, you look at other divisions. I mean, this one right here is for the taking for him if he wants it. You got two teams who are very uncertain on their future with their coaches and you know, the quarterback and stuff like that. And then you got Drew Brees you got to compete with, who's also getting older as well. So, hey, I think it's a good decision by Brady. I can't wait to see this all fold out. It's going to be mighty interesting to see. It's going to be weird to see Brady in another uniform, guys. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Comment as well. But, man, it's going to be some crazy stuff taking place, man. So, hey, congratulations to the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Alright guys, that wraps up our video, man. It was a very exciting video. This is honestly the biggest NFL free agency I've ever seen in my entire life so far. And man, I think it's still more to come, honestly. So I may come back on here and do more. If I miss something that you guys want me to talk about, you want to discuss, feel free to comment down below about it, okay? Remember, hey, I'm here, we talk, let's do this. So remember to like, subscribe, comment as well, guys. My Instagram will be down below as well as Jasmine's be down there, and our Snapchats and Twitter as well will be down there, guys. Let me know if you want to see more like this. DM me, hit me up. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk back with you, okay? So, like I said, guys, till next time, man. This was so much fun. Be safe. Take care of your bodies. Stay close to your family. Don't go out. Don't go to them clubs, them concerts. They're going to still be there when all this over. I guarantee you they need money, okay? So like I said, you guys remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Kids Zack out.